Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a love reading for Virgo where we look at your future spouse or life partner and the energy surrounding this connection. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Virgos, please. Who is this person for my Virgos, please? All right, so we have the Queen of Cups, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. They're also showing up as the Nine of Cups. They're viewing you as the Six of Pentacles, okay? And the connection, we see the Four of Cups. Okay, so I feel like this is going to come in at a time when you least expect it. Or I kind of feel you might meet this person at some sort of party or celebration. Now with the Queen of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy, I feel like you have somebody here who's really intelligent. And I know my Virgos, you definitely need a strong intellectual connection with your partner. This is somebody who's honest, somebody who's loyal, somebody who may not necessarily wear their heart on their sleeve, but they are very loving, they're very romantic, they're very nurturing. I feel like this person is very creative, but I do feel like you meet this person at some sort of party or some sort of celebration. And I really like this Queen of Cups. It kind of looks like she's been waiting for you, right, Virgo? Like they've been waiting for someone just like you. I think you make an immediate, an initial impact on this person for sure. All right, so strong air, strong water in their chart, or they just embody that energy. We see the Hierophant in reverse, Taurus energy. So this person is going to be someone who's very different from you. They could have a different background, a different race, religion, tradition, ethnic or cultural background that's different from your own. And with the Hierophant in reverse, this could be somebody also who's been married and divorced before. All right, and the Judgment card. All right, Aries, Scorpio energy. So this is somebody who's definitely high vibrational. I feel like Spirit has a hand in bringing you two together. I also feel like this is someone, if they did experience some sort of devastating divorce or, job loss or something like this, this is somebody extremely resilient. And, they're the type of person that, when they get lemons, they make lemonade type energy, right? Some of you, they come from a very different socioeconomic background than yours. And they may, if they came from nothing, they've really done quite well for themselves. Now, my Virgos, how you're going to be feeling the Moon card, Cancer, Pisces energy, which you may or may not have in your chart. I think you're going to feel really strongly about this person. I think your intuition is going to be telling you to just go for it here. And with the Moon, I feel like you have very deep romantic feelings for this person. Okay. What else do we need to know about this person for my Virgos, please? All right, yeah, so we get that confirmation that they're different from you, that you're connecting with someone of another race, religion, or culture from your own. All right, there may be a generational difference. Now, this particular card says it's possible for a 10+ year age difference. I also read this as maybe you two just fall into different generations, like Gen X and millennials, or, or whatever it may be, millennial and Gen Z. All right. And we see that this person is or has been a little bit closed off. Now that really tracks with this Four of Cups energy, that they've been deeply wounded and trust must be established to open their heart. So if this person, for example, has been married and divorced before, I feel like they're very cautious about whom they get invested or whom they get involved with nowadays. And Virgo, this person could be a Gemini or have strong Gemini in their chart. We see that with the Queen of Swords here. So symbolized by the twins, ruled by Mercury, they're the thinkers and communicators of the Zodiac with many facets. All right, they're showing up as the Nine of Cups. So I feel like, this is your wish fulfillment. You are definitely what they're looking for. They're going to be quite taken by you when they meet you. And again, I feel like there's some sort of party or some sort of celebration or some sort of gathering, a place where like food and drinks are flowing. This is where you meet this person. But I mean, they could just have a party person persona. And I don't mean that they're going out every night until 4 a.m. But, they're just somebody who's upbeat. They're fun to be around. People enjoy being around this person. They enjoy good food. They enjoy good wine. We see love from long ago. So some of my Virgos, this could be somebody that you once knew or somebody from your past. But for a lot of you, I feel like there's just going to be a sense of familiarity here between the two of you. And most likely that's coming from a past life soulmate connection. All right, we see that they may be Latin or of Latin descent, or there's some sort of Latin connection, like maybe they do business in Latin America, maybe they lived in Latin America, maybe they just came back from traveling in Latin America. So just really trust your intuition. And some of my Virgos, you're meeting this person at work or through work. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're coworkers. I mean, this could be like a work function. This could be a client. This could be someone that you go into their job, or maybe they come in, they come into your job, or they work on your home or your car, or vice versa. Okay. What else do my Virgos need to know about this person, please? All right, they have been in your proximity at least once in the last 6 months, okay? They've lost a loved one within the last year, so they may be in mourning, okay? They've lived in more than one country, okay, possibly in Latin America, but it doesn't have to be. And we see they will come into your life when you least expect it. So this is going to be unexpected, and that makes sense here with that that Four of Cups energy there. Like it's going to take you by surprise. All right, what else do my Virgos need to know about this person or this connection? All right, so we see imprisonment in reverse. So this could be somebody who has a history of a history with the law. All right, but I also feel like this is somebody here, Virgo, who, I think they've freed themselves from a tough karmic situation we are seeing with that Hierophant in reverse. So whether it was a family situation that was oppressive, whether it was a marriage or a relationship, maybe even a job situation, maybe even poverty, right? We see occupation showing up in reverse. So I do feel like this is somebody that doesn't just have a job. I feel like they're invested in their career, or they've really put their passions and their ideas to work for them. So I feel like whatever they do for a living, it's more than just, a job, okay? They're passionate about what they do. And we see concern. So I do feel like this person may have a tendency to worry. But I also think that this is somebody who's going to be very concerned with your happiness, with your comfort. Okay, but I also think that they take whatever they do very seriously. Not that they can't relax. We see that they're fun-loving and that they're a real party person. But that they take what they do very seriously. And I think they're going to worry about you, the type of person that's going to make sure that you've eaten enough today, the person that's going to call you and make sure you call them when you get in, make sure you're home safe. All right, so with the Six of Pentacles here, this person sees like you complement them beautifully. And I personally read the Six of Pentacles as a soulmate card. Rumi states it best when he said, what you're looking for is looking for you. And I feel like you two have been searching for each other, okay? Whether you realize it or not, I feel like this person loves, Virgo, that you really prioritize balance and harmony within your relationships. They see that you're balanced, you're even-keeled. Okay, the Queen of Cups in reverse tells me they might be a little bit worried, though, that you don't want to give emotionally to this connection. Okay, we see that with the Four of Cups there as well. They might be worried you're going to reject them, or you're not interested in getting too emotionally invested. Okay, and we see the Justice card in reverse, yeah. Because when you first meet this person, they might see you as very cautious or aloof, or, you know, they might be worried that there's not a lot of emotional depth here at first. And I don't think that's because of your personality, but I do think that because some of my Virgos, you might be a little bit guarded, or you might even be a little bit closed off when you meet this person, either because you've had like a string of disappointments, or you're at some place where maybe you're not expecting to meet anyone. So you're, you know, that's just not your energy where you're expecting to meet your person or meet somebody that you're going to be with. Yeah, and we see with the Moon card and the Five of Cups, a lot of my Virgos, this makes more sense. I mean, although intuitively I think you're going to feel like the romance here, you may hide your feelings, okay? And that person might read that as you not caring or you not being interested. But, you know, you may also be grieving something or someone here when you meet them. So again, that would make a lot more sense why you're not like completely open to, you know, to them when you meet them. All right, let's see. What do they really admire about you, Virgo, or what do they really like about you? All right, so they see you as the God archetype. Now, I always say don't let this go to your head, but they see you as benevolent and compassionate, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. So they do see you as a kind person. Again, the Six of Pentacles is very, you know, it's very kind energy. It's very, you know, helpful and balanced energy. Even if they're a little bit worried that you're not interested in them in the way that they're interested in you, or they're not worried if you're interested in something serious, they really do hold you in high regard here. And they see you as the Queen archetype. So you radiate the regal feminine and use your benevolent authority to protect others. So they see that you're a good leader here, Virgo. And they see you as the maternal or the mother archetype. So again, whether you're male or female, remember we all have masculine and feminine qualities. But they see you as nurturing, patient, unconditionally loving, a joy of giving birth to life. So if you're single parents, that's not something that phases them at all. But they also, maybe this person sees having children with you or creating a life with you. It doesn't have to include children. You know, it can be fur babies, or it can be, you know, creating a business together or something. But they see you as very loving, nurturing, and patient. But I feel that's like more once they get to know you, because initially I think they're worried that you don't want to emotionally invest, or you're not as interested as they are. And you may not be, because it may take you by surprise, or you may still be grieving someone else. Although I do think you are going to have deep romantic feelings, but you just might not show them there with that Moon card we saw initially. So the Four of Cups tells me this is going to be a connection that kind of takes you by surprise. I think they're going to be worried about rejection, or worried that you don't feel the same way. I also think there are going to be people around when you meet this person. There is this energy of meeting them at some sort of party or some sort of celebration. All right. So Spirit's saying that this person carries self-assurance without needing to dominate. Their confidence feels calming. Okay, beautiful. So they're quietly confident, very attractive. This connection benefits from spaciousness and patience. What is meant to deepen will do so without force. Yeah. And I feel like that's also because this person is really, you know, reading the room right with you. You know, they're not going to try to force or rush this. And also they want to be sure, because in the beginning, they're not sure that you want to completely invest, or that you have the same feelings as they do. And, yeah, this connection encourages you to show up as you truly are. So, you know, you're, embodying authenticity here. Okay. And you know, it's not always easy to be authentic and vulnerable with everyone, but this person really holds space for you to do that, Virgo. And this connection arrives to interrupt repeating patterns that have kept you stuck. Awareness becomes the first step toward change. Okay, so beautiful. So this is absolutely a connection that, you know, is meant to break old cycles here. All right, so we see lasting love. So we are in the right reading. This is your true love. This is meant to be a lasting love, a lasting marriage. All right, and we see there's going to be a psychic connection between the two of you. So your communication goes beyond mere words. All right, we see physical connection. I do think a lot of you meet this person in person. Like they've been in your proximity at least once in the last 6 months. So the sacred union embodies two becoming one. And at the bottom of the deck, we see friend zoned, all right? So I feel like, you know, I don't know if you initially friend zoned this person or they're worried about that. I don't think that there's going to be a lack of passion in this companionship. I think this is what this person's biggest fears are, is that you don't feel the same way about them as they feel about you. There may also be something really important about friends bringing you two together. So, you know, maybe it's a work friend that introduces you, or maybe you're at a friend's house or friend's party when you meet this person. So we see rapid movement and we see June. Okay, so some of you, maybe this person was in your proximity last in June, or maybe you met them in June and they're circling back around. They could also be, you know, a Gemini or a Cancer here. But with the rapid movement here, I don't think this connection is going to necessarily move super quickly at first, but it may come in unexpectedly. It may come in kind of quickly here. But with this room to unfold energy, I do think this person's going to hold space for you. But yeah, all right. So Virgo, this is where I'm going to leave it. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.